Hi, welcome and thanks for joining. This will be a technical video to explain how to set up Azure serverless function to integrate Printix Capture API with any backend application. In this case, the demo is with zero accounting, but you can adapt this to integrate with any other application. As an overview of the functionality, the process starts with user scanning a document using Printix Go enabled printer or mobile app. When the job is received by the Printix cloud, it OCRs the document and it triggers a webhook as per the connector configuration. In this case, the Azure function is listening to the webhook, and when it receives the webhook, it authenticates the webhook and then proceeds to fetch the document from Printix and continues to upload the document into Zero by making API calls into Zero accounting, as you just saw in this quick overview video. We start the setup by first creating a function on the Azure portal. Please choose the consumption model as this is the most appropriate for a demo functionality, but I usually create a resource group per function so that it can be cleared later on when not required, but this is totally up to your preferences. Follow the prompt with most usual default. The only important change we need to make here will be the runtime stack. In this case, we will choose Python and the version 3.12 or 3.13 again as per your preferences. This is because the function app I have shared is written in Python. Choose default for most other setup questions and finish by deploying this app. Azure will take a couple of minutes and your function app will be ready soon. Once the function app is ready on Azure portal, you can proceed to GitHub and download the repository onto your local PC in preparation for the next steps. Extract the downloaded zip file and place into a folder of your choice. While you are here, you can also go over the README file to get more details about the functionality. Then launch VS Code, and if you don't already have, please add Azure Tools extension and other extension required as per language of your choice. In my case, as my function is written in Python, I will select Python and other related extensions. Once the Azure Tools extension is installed in VS Code, it will allow you to log in into your Azure subscription. You should also see the newly created Azure function which we created on the portal in here. Now proceed to the local explorer and open the folder where you extracted the zip files from GitHub. Here you can see the details of what the function is doing: working as a webhook receiver, request verification using HMAC signature, fetching the document from Printix Cloud, and then uploading to Zero. All credentials required are stored as environmental variables of the Azure function, and we will configure them later. Browse back to the Azure extensions and Azure function. Select the function we created earlier and right-click to deploy. It will give us a message that do you want to overwrite? Proceed yes, which then pushes the local files from the folder selected onto the Azure portal. Once this is done, you can see in the output logs and it will give us the URL for the webhook listener. Copy this URL as this is the webhook listener, and we will use this in Printix configuration in the next steps. We can now browse to the Azure portal and see the function there. You can browse the various components and you can see the logs console. This is where we see activities when the function is triggered by the webhook. Now head over to the Printix portal to create a new destination profile and then a capture workflow. First, we will create a destination profile. Give it any name of your choice, and in the URL, we will paste the copied URL from the Azure portal after the deployment. In this case, we do not need to select any network as we are using a cloud environment. We will then create a shared secret and copy that secret to update the environmental variables on the Azure function. Head back to the Azure function on Azure portal and browse to the environmental variables section. Here, create new variables, one for Printix shared secret and two for the Zero API client ID and client secret. Use the correct labels and update the values. Click Save, which restarts the Azure function. I'm using Zero accounting and I have application created in Zero, which gives me the client ID and secret. Based upon where you're connecting, you will get the credentials for the same from that platform. Finally, you can go and create your workflow based upon the connector that we have just set up. And this workflow can be made available for a mobile or a Printix Go enabled MFP. And you will be able to use this scanning workflow from here on. Thanks for your time and thanks for watching this video.